Well, morning everyone, thanks McBee. Still got a bit of a cold which I got at the festival, so I'm a little bit choked, but it's not too bad. And I'm out here with my little dog having a walk around the park. As you see, it's a bit quiet this morning, a bit quiet. There's some people up here. I'm just pondering the meaning of some of the things on the news recently. A couple of things that have sprung out at me, which I found quite interesting. The first one is that Rishi Sunak has come out, has visited a Jewish synagogue or whatever, and has put on a skull cap and uh, has, has said that he has a lot in common with the Jewish people and with what they believe, and has come out unequivocally and stated he is a Hindu. And I have wondered about that for a while, from some of the ways he behaves himself, whether you believe in the conservative policies or not. He's a man who seems to have quite a good control over himself as a politician and has a lot of good discipline about him, which I've always thought could have been from his Hindu upbringing and teaching as a young man. And now he has actually stated that that is the case. And I am very interested in. She's way back here. I have to go back. I am very interested in the origins of religion, having been brought up as an evangelical Christian and been told that that is the only way to God. And I notice everyone else seems to say the same thing. So having extracted myself from that and started to look for the good in other religions rather than what is wrong with them, I suddenly start to see a lot of similarities, especially in the area of morality, discipline, teaching, how to love others, etc. We all seem to have a very similar idea of what we should be doing. Here's my little girl. Come on, little girl. Come on. Come on, let's get moving. She's got to lose weight, so I've got to keep her moving. She normally has a little bit of a sniff for a while, and then she starts to do a bit of running. Come on, come on, come on. Getting back to Rishi and the Hinduism. Hinduism is the oldest religion. I believe the religion, it goes back 5,000 years BC. The next oldest religion is actually the Jews. The Jewish religion goes back, well, they seem to account for going back to 6,000 years BC. And Abraham, the father of the Israelites, is 2000 BC. So we seem to have two different strands of religion coming through there. As we move forward, 500 BC, we see quite a few other ideas and religions coming out. In China, we have the Buddhist religion, and Buddha, I believe, was originally a disciple of the Hindu faith, who then formed the Buddhist tradition. We also have Confucius about that time, saying the same things about how to treat people, how and also not only to treat people individually, but how rulers should be treating people, and that's all good stuff. And then moving back to Europe, we got the Greek philosophers. They are saying similar things, but without maybe the God part. Although Socrates believed once said that we relate to God through doing good deeds to others, which is, of course, what Jesus was saying. So if we move forward 500 years to when Jesus was born, we would find, if you check on Wikipedia, this is where I've checked it, that in fact, at that time, Eastern religions and Greek philosophy were well known by the Jews and by the Pharisees and Sadducees, who were the religious rulers, would actually have known all about those philosophies and religions. And I believe this may have shaped some of the teachings and the ideas that Jesus came up with. And I got a feeling he started to adapt what was a broken system, where religion again had got out of control and was just bossing people around and being hypocritical himself. Jesus seems to maybe be bringing into line some of these new religions, to bring into line the Jewish religion. And then of course from that we get Paul, who certainly changed things to create Christianity and bring it out to the masses in Europe. And he certainly had different ideas to what Jesus did. But there we are. We have Christianity as we know it today, which is also bossing everyone around still, although it's not as strong as it was. And of course, with the advent of the internet, we don't even need to look up books to find out these things. We can just go on the internet, find out these connections, and find out, well, Rishie might be a Hindu, but the teachings he has are some of the teachings we have. So we need to all be working together for a better country, and certainly our politicians could do with coming under the disciplines that by Jesus. Paul himself comes up with some ideas, good ideas for discipline, so that we might all move forward peaceably as a human race. And of course, some of the people, when we get fundamentalism, then it all goes wrong. And we get people bossing around, and people thinking they are the people who are the chosen of God, and everyone else is infidel. And of course, this is not good. This is what's happening in Israel. And there's lots of good Jews, of course there is. It's just the fundamental Jews have got the upper hand. And I've come out of an extremist evangelical Christianity where they think they are the only ones, and no, they're not. As far as I'm concerned, the Jewish people who are happy to accept others, and you hear them on the radio, on Radio 2, you hear them talking about, we have thought for the day, we have Jews in there, we have Muslims in there, we have Christians in there, and the one thing they don't do is say we are the only ones. No, they give us good, practical ideas on how we should be helping other people and how we should be helping ourselves to be better people. And that's what I call practical religion. And I myself, having been brought up in the Christian faith, look at practical Christianity as something that helps me a lot to improve my relationships with others and to get on with others and to be able to help each other, help those who are struggling. And here comes my little dog now. Come on, Holly. Come on, my girl. Come. The other bit of news that struck me as quite interesting is Taylor Swift's donations to Food Bank, which has come up. And initially it came up in Liverpool, and now it's occurring in Cardiff, where she's her donations are bigger than the rest of the donations from anywhere else for the year. Her one donation. And my initial thought is if she's a modern Robin Hood, she seems to be taking that money from people who can afford to go to concerts. I'm not going to call them rich, but they're people who can afford to go to concerts. She's taking that money and she's giving it back to the poor in the cities that she's celebrating in and performing. And I know people might think, well, she's a bit of a showgirl, but as a grumpy old rocker, I'm going to have a little look at some more of her songs and a bit more about how she's come through to become a superstar. I'm going to be blogging about that tomorrow, and hopefully I'll be able to say a few good things about her, maybe some bad things, because we've all got good and bad, and that is one of the first things we must learn as human beings, that there's good and bad in everything, and we need to extract the good and reject the bad, and just think for ourselves. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye. You can see Carisbrooke Castle in the distance, and there's the recreational uh, hall. And I'm just going to say bye for now. Be good.